There are moments in sport that arrive without warning. Moments that stop the clocks, silence the grandstands, and leave a generation of fans staring at a screen, unwilling to believe what it says. Today is one of those moments. Kyle Busch, two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, the winningest driver across the sport's 3 national series. Husband, father, brother, rival, friend is gone. He was 41 years old. Before we go further, a word of thanks. This story first reached me through my friend Amanda Foote, who brought it to my attention and asked me to look into it. Because of what I do, taking complicated medical questions and trying to make them understandable for people who don't live inside that world. She thought there were threads here worth pulling on carefully. She was right. So Amanda, thank you. This one is in part because of you. The announcement came on the afternoon of May 21st, 2026. A joint statement from the Busch family, Richard Childress Racing, and NASCAR confirmed what no one in the garage was prepared to hear. Kyle had died after being hospitalized earlier in the day with what his family described only as a severe illness. No cause of death was given. Just hours earlier, fans had been told he would miss the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, a race he had circled on his calendar, a race he had run year after year. Austin Hill was named as his replacement. The assumption, the hope, was that he would be back. He never came back. To understand the size of this loss, you have to understand the size of the career. Kyle Busch was a kid from Las Vegas who was ready for NASCAR's top level at 16, held back only by a tobacco settlement that forced him to wait until he was 18. His older brother Kurt, already a Cup contender, told the world, "If you think I'm good, wait until you see my brother." Kurt was right. Kyle won Rookie of the Year in 2005. He won the Cup Series championship in 2015. He won it again in 2019. He made the championship 5 years in a row. 63 Cup wins, 9th on the all-time list, more than any active driver. 102 Xfinity wins, a record that may never be broken. 69 Truck Series wins, also a record. 234 victories across NASCAR's 3 national series, more than anyone, ever. They called him Rowdy. They called him Wild Thing. He gave us the feuds, the burnouts, the bow, and the bravado. He gave us a driver who never apologized for wanting to win, every lap, every race, every series, every weekend. He was simply one of the greatest to ever turn a wheel. But there is a part of this story that the racing world is going to be asking about in the days and weeks ahead. And it is right, and it is responsible to acknowledge it. 11 days before his death on May 10th at Watkins Glen, Kyle Busch made a request over his team radio that, in hindsight, now carries a weight no one understood at the time. In a calm, even voice, he asked his team to find Dr. William Heisel, a physician well known in the NASCAR community, and to have him meet Kyle at his bus after the race. "I'm going to need a shot," he said. The Fox broadcast reported that Kyle had been fighting a sinus cold all week, made worse by the G-forces and elevation changes of the road course. He finished the race in 8th place. He raced the following weekend. He won at Dover in the Truck Series, and then, 11 days later, he was gone. We do not know what was in the shot. We do not know if he received one. We do not know the nature of the illness that hospitalized him. And we do not, at this hour, know his cause of death. But it is fair to note what such a shot in such a context most commonly is. For an athlete fighting fatigue and congestion, it could have been a B12 injection, a routine low-risk vitamin shot used widely across professional sports. It could also have been a corticosteroid, a powerful anti-inflammatory used to reduce sinus swelling and help an athlete breathe and perform. And here's the part worth understanding. Corticosteroids, while remarkably effective for inflammation, are immunosuppressive. They quiet the body's defenses. In the wrong context, in the presence of an unrecognized bacterial, viral, or fungal infection, they can allow that infection to spread, to deepen, to become something far more dangerous than it began. We are not saying this is what happened. No one has said that. The family has not said it. NASCAR has not said it. His doctors have not said it. But the timeline is the timeline, and the questions are reasonable ones. And here is something else worth saying, gently, because it matters. 41-year-old men in apparent peak condition, strapping, conditioned professional athletes, do not simply die for no reason. Something happened, something physiological. And while we wait for the family and the medical examiner to tell us what, it is fair to acknowledge the short list of things that can take a man at this age, suddenly and without much warning. A heart attack, even in fit men, even in their 40s, Coronary disease can hide for years and announce itself only once: a stroke. An aortic aneurysm or dissection, a tear in the body's largest blood vessel, which can present in its early stages in ways that mimic a chest cold, a sinus issue, a pulled muscle, almost anything other than what it actually is. A severe pneumonia or a bloodstream infection seeded from somewhere else in the body, both of which can move from feeling under the weather to critical in a matter of hours. And it is worth pausing on this. When Kyle radioed for a doctor at Watkins Glen, the assumption, by him, by his team, by the broadcast, was that a sinus cold was being made worse by the punishment of a road course. That may well be exactly what it was, but the early signs of a cardiac event, of an aortic problem, of a developing pneumonia can look a great deal like a bad cold: shortness of breath, pressure, fatigue, something just off. Athletes, in particular, are practiced at pushing through what they assume is minor. We do not know what was happening inside Kyle's body that day. We may never know with certainty, but the possibility that something larger was beginning to declare itself and was mistaken by everyone for something smaller is a possibility that deserves to be named. In the coming days, we may learn more: a cause of death, a toxicology report, a statement from the family that closes the door on speculation or opens it further. This story is not finished, and it deserves our attention, not as gossip, not as a search for blame, but as the careful following of a story that may carry lessons for every athlete, every team doctor, and every fan who has ever taken a shot to push through a long week. We owe Kyle that much. We owe his family more. To Samantha, to Brexton, to Lennix, to Kurt and the entire Busch family, to Richard Childress and everyone in the number 8 shop, to Rowdy Nation. The sport has lost a giant. You have lost something none of us can name. Our deepest, most heartfelt condolences. Kyle Busch raced as hard as anyone who ever lived. He won more than anyone who ever lived, and he leaves behind a legacy that no driver, in any era, will easily touch. Rest easy, Rowdy. The checkered flag is yours.